Hey everyone, welcome to the live. Hi, hi. Hey, it's good to see all of you. See a bunch of our learners. My name is Kiran. I'm going live from the Pallikodam, obviously. We actually have a segment called Musicians in Conversation. And the whole conversation happens between Ranjit Govind, who's the instructor of our vocal singing course called Pata Class. And it is a signature course where Ranjit himself teaches the entire thing and has added like so many of his professional experience and his classical training to bring this course to life. So, what we basically do in Musicians in Conversation is explore this learning and expand it by bringing a lot more musicians who are so talented, who've truly pursued their craft, and who've made something of themselves in the playback space, in the reality TV space, and the independent space. And today we have a very, very exciting guest. She's an absolute dynamite. She's been singing since when she was a child, and she's been performing since when she was a child. And we all know her as an amazing influencer and YouTuber for her energy that she adds to every single thing that she does. And it's been an absolute pleasure to, we're so excited more than anything else to be in conversation with her. So there's Ranjit who's joined the call. Let me bring him in. To none other than the amazing nithyashree, who's going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes. Hi, Ranjit. How are you?
Hi, Kiran. How are you?
It's good to be back for another live with
Oh,
an
yes,
absolute
very much.
dynamite. I'm so excited to speak with her. To
Totally,
just,
totally.
yeah. So before we move in, I just have a quick announcement for the page. Pata class, as I already mentioned, which is taught by Ranjit himself, was supposed to start on the 2nd of July. We experienced some unexpected technical issues. So we've moved the date to 9th of July. So those of you who've been inquiring and who've been reaching out to us, you still have time to enroll if you did not get an opportunity to do it yet. We've extended the date, so we hope to see you on the 9th. All right, so now let me quickly go in and bring in our artist for the day, Nithyashree. Hi.
Hello.
Wait, really? Really?
We're all in green. What's going on?
Oh,
God,
yeah,
what a magic. I mean,
I
hi,
know,
thank
right?
you so much, Pallikudam, Ranjitana, and Kiran for having me here. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me talk with you all today.
We are so excited. I'm such a big fan of your energy that you bring to everything that you do. I have so much appreciation for the kind, and Ranjit has spoken so much about your dedication and your commitment and your meticulous planning that you bring to everything that you do. And I'm really excited to listen to you, and our learners are so excited to learn from you today. So I think I'm just going to leave it to Ranjit to jump right in and take over.
Hey, Nitya, thank you so much for doing this. It's such a pleasure to have you. Um, I think the right word, if at all, I should use to kind of express your energy is like electrifying. Any place that you are in is always like super lit, So that's how it. So thank you for lighting up our page today with your presence. Such
Why,
an honor to have you.
I'm getting nervous. Like, suddenly, the Pallikudam, it's like, oh my God, part of the Kundam. How do I talk? Like, who's going to judge me now?
No,
And
no. This is just a fun. I mean,
the teacher himself is here, so I think I should be,
oh,
very careful while talking.
No, please. It's a pleasure, and of course, this is a very fun space where we actually have a lot of people who come and have fun just exploring the art, you know. So I'm just a little guide here, like to kind of help them through, you know, in places that they might be stuck. Anyway, so let's forget my journey for a moment and let's get into your journey, Nitya. We just please tell us how did it all start? What is the starting point?
Okay, I mean, to be honest, it started with a very funny story.
Mm-hmm,
You know, I'm always fed by my mother
mm-hmm.
up until today. You know, I can't without her. So
Okay.
please shout out to my mother if she's watching this. I'm sure she's watching. So
Yes.
I started to sing when I was 4. So it happened very accidentally when she was actually feeding me and I was watching Sun Music.
Mm-hmm.
I've been so ardent in watching all the music channels instead of other Siri Poli or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that come up. I've always been like my parents told me. I mean, I really don't remember, but they have been
Yeah.
telling me always watch music channels. And suddenly ஒரு நாள் வந்து she was singing some song and I kind of corrected her. I was like,
Oh.
this shouldn't be this way. I think this is how it sounds. And she was like, okay, sing it. Then I sang. So this is how it all started. And she was like, oh my God, my kid is singing. And that's when she called up my dad. My dad was not in town. He was somewhere else, he
Mm.
was in Nagapatnam, I guess. And then she called him up
Okay.
and she was like, oh my God, she's really singing. And I was only 4 and he rushed home. And then immediately they put me into a party class. Like how you
Okay.
put me
Okay.
into a party class. And then the teachers were, I mean, she's not even sitting. We can't tolerate this kid. Please take her home. We're not teaching her. And my mother was like, I mean, glad that I'm somewhere blessed to have parents who sing.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister also sings. And it's a family package. I think has helped me become the singer I am today.
Mm.
So Carnatically trained, classically trained, and my dad has been running a music band for almost 32 years now. So
Wow.
it all started
Wow.
there. I had
Okay.
both the influence of the light music as well as the Carnatic music.
Carnatic.
Born, I think it all happened.
Right.
So that's how I started singing, and I started doing stage shows when I was 5 years old, along with my dad. I just learned 2
Wow.
songs. It's very nostalgic whenever I think about it. It was just that 2 songs. Can I mention the song?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Even
It
if you
was,
should probably sing it also.
oh, definitely. I think we should sing it together, yes?
Yeah, we
So,
can try.
yes, so it was பார்த்த முதல் நாளே
Oh,
and சுற்றும் விழி சுடரே.
wow.
These are the ultimate songs that I learned, my first 2 songs, but technically the one that I sang first was கல்யாணம் தான் கட்டிக்கிட்டு ஓடி போலாமா இல்ல ஓடி போய் and my mother எடுத்த உடனே என்ன பாட்டு பாடுறா பாருங்க 4 yearsல. That's how it started.
True Harris Jairaj fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely there's somewhere running.
Yes.
So, in the ரெண்டு song, I'll always sing with my dad holding his hand because and if microphone பிடிக்க முடியாது, I can't be on stage like, that's how it started. I used to hold his hand and I used to sing. These 2
Okay.
when I was 5. So,
Mm.
yeah, from 5 years to 6 years, I think for a year, I sang only these 2 songs. Just these 2
Wow.
So that, kind of, I'm thankful to my parents that they did that to me instead of making me learn so many songs and cluster my mind. When there was these 2 songs that I had to only focus, the more I got used to singing the same 2 songs, I was able to explore the other quadrants of singing, other quadrants of handling stage, about learning how to use my microphone, how do I interact with people now, how do I, so a lot of things I was able to focus because I internalized the song so much that it gave me that confidence to be on stage. So I'm like, people used to ask me, there and the part where she's singing. I also didn't think about it, but later when I actually, I was like, wow, that actually helped me a lot to learn the other aspects of being a performer because that I just don't sing. I love singing,
Yeah.
dancing,
Yes.
doing
Yes.
everything possible on stage like a monkey, because that's you cannot just stand in one place. So it's very difficult. So I think
நித்யா அந்த பாட்டுல இருந்து ஒரு 2 லைன் பாட முடியுமா?
of course. Okay, let me start. I think both the songs also two lines.
Yeah.
Anna, if you know that song, please.
Sure. Which one? The Paatha Mudal Nale?
Paatha Mudal Nale. We'll start with Paatha Mudal Nale.
பார்த்த முதல் நாளே உன்னை பார்த்த முதல் நாளே
காட்சி கொடுக்கிறதே கண்ணே காட்சி கொடுக்கிறதே உலனையாய் வந்து என்னை அடித்தாய் கடலாய் மாறி என்னை இழுத்தாய் உரலாடி தாண்டி உன்முகம் என்று மறையாது.
My head is like tick. If only we could sync audio. Probably when the technology reaches a point where even on Insta we don't have the lag, it'll be so much more fun for us, right?
True, so true. So I'm gonna go and sing Supreme today also.
Yes.
I'm just getting like all those thoughts are just flowing through my childhood.
Go for it.
Yeah. சுற்றுங்கிரி சுடரே சுற்றுங்கிரி சுடரே இன்னுலகம் உன்னை சுற்றுதே சட்டைப்பல் என்னும் பாடம் தொட்டு தொட்டு உலக என் இதயம் பற்றி கொள்ளுதே விழுந்தேன் பறந்தேன் கண்வேத்து சொப்பனம் கண்டேன் உன்னாலில் கண்வேத்து சொப்பனம் கண்டேன் கண்வேத்து சொப்பனம் கண்டேன் உன்னாலில் கண்வேத்து சொப்பனம் கண்டேன்.
Wow.
So I'm getting reminded of how, since I had only these two songs to explore, I could explore a lot of new variations to the song. I think this was something that I learned big time, learning one song or singing one song over a long period of time helps you, become the master of it.
Honestly, yeah, I must say that I loved, especially one thing, Nithya, of course, we'll also come to that. I think it's also there in the question, but I have to quickly jump in and mention how I love the way you completely wrap your identity around the song. Even this song, like it's so evident that you have completely made it your version, because I think that's what you're talking about. When you are so closely associated, when you build such a strong relationship with a certain song, you completely internalize it and it becomes your style. When you finally deliver it, like right now, the way you did it, it was so you. Like I couldn't hear anybody else, like, because it was so uniquely done. And you were not at any point in time, of course, we say that a lot in the course as well, where we tell people to shed away these ideas that they want to follow their favorite singer, sound like them, perform like them. Drop that and see what superbly how well things bloom or blossom.
Ranjit, your mic is a little bit
Oh yeah,
it's echoing. Yeah.
okay, I'm using AirPods. I'll remove them. Is it better now?
Is my
Sorry.
I think in a way I'm really blessed with a voice that doesn't sound like any others. There was a point actually when this is actually taking me back to the days, when I started singing. I used to. I mean, I think I've never spoken about this outside. I think this is the first platform that I'm sharing this with because it's just coming onto my mind. I used to actually feel very bad about my voice. When I started singing, I used to be very conscious that my voice sounds very nasal. It sounds very tricky and folky, and I feel like it has a lot of high frequency. I mean, when I started, now it's completely changed after my growth into learning how to really sing. I didn't back then know how to use my voice, the right production of singing, and it was actually a lot of self-criticism I used to do when I was young that, I don't like my voice, I think this is not suiting. Because since my voice is unique, I can't really pick on to songs that generally everybody sings. I need to
Yeah.
be very, very, very particular about song selections, and the type of songs, the genre of songs. Everything was, it had to be made to Nithyashree's comfort zone and style, and only then I would be able to deliver what the song actually deserves. So that was, a very big journey for me to understand my voice and fall in love with my voice. I think now I'm really thankful that I have a very unique voice because, as you said, when I sing, people say I'm able to hear Nitya, and that's a big success. Not everyone
It is. It is.
are blessed to get that, so I think I'm really blessed.
I absolutely love the way you sang Pada the Patalam. You added such a beautiful touch to it, and I think your voice, of course, Satya's as well, made the song unique in such a beautiful way. Hmm.
And that song, it's one of my, I treasure that song really because, and I would like to take this chance to also thank music director Darren Sir for, actually giving me the space that, a singer should have when they record the song. Because, everybody knows Parada Patlam or classic evergreen song, and recreating such a song has to be done in a very, very careful way. We cannot spoil, we cannot take away from the beauty of the original song. At the same time, we have to be also unique to add our touch to the song so that it sounds like our own. So I think I'm really thankful for the space Darren sir gave me that, I was able to play with the song, like literally play with the song. And I changed the tune, I changed all the Charman tunes and all, I changed it to my own. Whatever that came into my mind, I was like, sir, I'll sing this, I'll sing that. And he was like, okay, go record, go ahead, it's nice. Super, what all? Come on with ideas. So he was like so encouraging, and that gave me a lot of that good space to think about new ideas and
Right.
so really
Right.
a very, very special song.
That's.
And I also would like to take the chance to thank everybody who has joined us today.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere or the other, I think they have played a major role in making part of the Patlam and also my journey on the whole a successful one, by
Oh
being
yeah.
there, supporting, by sharing with all the good wishes. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
I love the fact how you started the thing with a little thank you to mom and dad, and I truly understand how big I've them with you. I've always said that I know the amount of excitement, joy that experience when you like go through you be it on stage, back and things like that. So even when on parents who ask me like what
I think he's breaking, right?
Yeah, Ranjit, you're breaking a little bit. Can you check your connect? Meanwhile, I can ask Nitya something.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
I actually, I'm sure a lot of people as well. So in all, how you able to build and conduct yourself as an influencer, a YouTuber. So, and Ranjit has of course told me how meticulous you are. So I would love to know what it is that you did to really grow your presence as an influencer and a YouTuber. I'm sure a lot of people would love to learn from you.
I mean, I'm still learning, to be very honest, because it's being uh, a person on in front of the camera or being an influencer actually takes a lot more than what it actually looks like. And might it might look great and all good from outside, but actually the amount of work that goes behind is truly insane. And 23 years of my life has been into this. And, you know, um, and really, I think Ranjitana also started about the point that how grateful and happy my parents are. I think that was the context that we were starting to talk about. Really thankful to my parents because I think I am here because of them. Truly, one, I've got music from them. Two, I really learned how meticulous they are when they do something, on a daily basis when I live with them. I see how they work from morning to night, and I used to sit with my dad to curate a schedule for myself. So I really am a paper person. So I actually write down everything like 6:30 I'll do this, 6:30 to 7, 10:30, 7:30 to 8. This is how I do. So I have a chart, I have a bulletin board where I put my paper, schedule paper, and I stick to the schedule like no matter what. I really like I'm a paper person. It really works for me. I think uh, all my discipline has come from there. You know, I love being strict with myself. I will not spare myself if I don't practice for a day. I will, in case, for example, I miss practicing half an hour today, I'll make sure I practice an hour tomorrow. So I compensate my schedule and timings like that. So I'm very strict with how I follow my patterns and schedule. So I think that's how I really feel that the amount of practice and discipline that I went through has what got me here today.
But I love that you're saying this so meticulous and you've been doing this for like however long you've been doing it. But every influencer speaks about burnout. Like, how are you so consistent? Like, what do you do when it gets overwhelming? Because it is overwhelming. Social media can, make you feel very overwhelmed because of the kind of plans that you have, because of the amount of content that you're like, like planning and creating and always creating to grow your channel. So you're doing separate content for YouTube, you're doing separate content for Insta, you're putting up on stories all the time. So how do you manage your emotional space, as an influencer?
This is a very, very tough question. I think it's been last 2 years since I'm actually realizing that I need to really give myself the respect and space. All these years I've been like only focusing on working hard, going forward with things, this to that to that, and I've always been jumping on trying and experimenting my life in all different ways, and it has always been career oriented. And since last 2 years, actually, I'm feeling, me and Ranjitana, we actually had a huge conversation after a concert that we did in January. In the car when we were returning back, I think we had a very deep conversation about, the burnout and how much it actually takes on to an artist when we have to, be this person in front of the media and in front of the people. Being a people's person itself is a very huge task by itself. So, and managing everything, that is another whole big game. I think I can talk about it for days together. So it's really, really, I mean, difficult, and I've actually starting to miss my childhood days. I sometimes when I look at myself on social media or somebody posts something about me, I'll be like, okay, why am I saying this? Like, why am I this person? Why am I having to do this? Sometimes, why can't I just be a normal human being? Just going to a park, just playing, just going to a restaurant, eating whatever food that I like. Life actually gets very difficult when you are a familiar personality, right? You don't get to be the normal human being that you want to be. So I think there's a lot of these things that I've started missing in the last 2 years. So I think that's a sign of burnout that, somewhere I've done so much that I feel like, I need to just take a chill pill.
Yeah. And it's not just doing so much. You started so early. As a 4-year-old, as a 9-year-old, you were already on reality TV, like belting out, dishing out music. So, like, but how do you also deal with, I don't want to call it haters, but how do you deal with the negative comments that come with this? Because, of course, like, there's so much love. Look at all the comment section. Love you, Nithyu. But, you know, sometimes there's also like comments that are not very nice, that don't make one feel good. So, as an influencer, how do you manage that?
Okay, I think I really have to credit my parents for this because they have been with me through all the good and bad. When I, I don't know, I've always faced negative comments as somewhere as a potential criticism. So I look at them and, if there is some scope for me to improve from those comments, I actually take it in the positive way so that I can work on myself to be someone better, a better version of myself. But when it is absolutely doesn't make sense, I think as a character, as a person I am, I don't really take a lot onto my mind. So I just, ignore. That's the
That's
best.
really wonderful because to have that maturity when at least now you've been doing it for a long time, but to have this kind of maturity when you were probably younger because you started so early is really something to learn from.
I
And
think
நிறைய பேர் சொல்றீங்க இங்கிலீஷ் காஸ்ட் மாதிரி இருக்கு அப்படின்னு. So, so there are lots of comments saying it's like an English class, guys. We have people from different parts of the world, from different states, from Kerala, from Karnataka, from Andhra, Telangana, and from Tamil Nadu. So it becomes a little difficult to speak only in Tamil. ஆனா பாட்டு பாடுறதெல்லாம் அவங்க தமிழ்ல தான் பாடுவாங்க. So just chill out and stay with us.
so I think this will be a good platform now that you've taken that point, or I think I really want to talk about a bit about it because it's going from super singer to Indian Idol. It's been a huge journey for me. Without knowing the language, to handle a national level competition was ultimately a great challenge for me. That even today, sometimes I really fear that, oh my God, did I really do that? Like, did I really cross that phase? So this importantly where people say please talk in Tamil பேசுங்க Tamil தெரியாதா, these kind of comments I get a lot. That I really sometimes I've not addressed this anywhere, but I'm addressing it here because we started on to it. So it's when I have people who follow me from different parts of the world, where I need to be in common grounds with making them understand whatever I'm speaking. English becomes the balancing language for everybody to understand whatever I'm putting out at the same time. So sometimes it's even difficult for me to always convey everything in English because I do have a huge following base from Tamil Nadu. But then I have to also respect everybody who follow me for my art from different parts of the world. So that's why I speak in English. So I think a lot of people are still here putting why are you not speaking in Tamil? So that's the reason that I'm having to speak in English. I think we can put it that way.
Thank you.
Nithya,
That was insightful. Thank you. Grant,
finally, I'm so sorry. I my internet. I was suddenly locked out for a while. Can you guys hear?
You're kind of breaking, yeah.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. I don't know what's my wife today. So, Nithya, one quick thing I want.
AirPods on back, probably that should work.
Ranjit, I think your data is better.
Is this better now?
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody's asking, ஒரு பாட்டு please.
ஒரு பாட்டு.
ஒரு பாட்டு.
Yeah.
Why don't you பாடாத பாட்டெல்லாம்?
Anna, do you know the song?
I know a few lines of the song. I'm going to quickly look for the lyrics.
They're asking for a Malayalam song. I think you should do a Malayalam song. I'll do
Okay, Malayalam song. Okay, I'll do a Malayalam song. Okay. ഒരു വേനൽ പുഴയിൽ തെളിനീരിൽ പുലരി തിളങ്ങി മൂകം ഇലകളിൽ പൂക്കളിൽ എഴുതി ഞാൻ ഇളവയിലായി നിന്നെ മേഘമായൻ താഴ്വരയിൽ നാളമായൻ ആത്മാവിൽ നെഞ്ചിലാളും മൺചിരാതിൻ നാളം പോൽ നിന്നാലുണ്ണി വേനൽ പുഴയിൽ തെളിനീരിൽ പുലരി തിളങ്ങി മൂകം ഇലകളിൽ പൂക്കളിൽ എഴുതി ഞാൻ ഇളവയിലായി നിന്നെ.
I enjoyed. Love it.
Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys heard it properly.
Yeah. Yes, I think the AirPods are helping.
Yes, your turn, Nitya.
பாடாத பாட்டெல்லாம் பாட வந்தேன், காணாத கண்களை காண வந்தேன், பேசாத மொழியெல்லாம் பேச வந்தேன், உன் ஆசை நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன், உன் ஆசை நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன், பாடாத பாட்டெல்லாம் பாட வந்தேன், காணாத கண்களை காண வந்தேன், பேசாத மொழியெல்லாம் பேச வந்தேன், உன் ஆசை நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன், உன் ஆசை நெஞ்சிலே ஆட வந்தேன்.
Beautiful voice you have. Things that you ever. Ranjit actually spent a lot of time in particular working with aspiring musicians to really own their voice and to appreciate the unique voice. Some nasal, some very deep, some like very pitched, and like to own whatever voice it is that you have, make it so unique, owning it, and like picking songs that really work with your voice. I feel like it's such a journey, especially after hearing you say what you said. That I'm happy that Ranjit helped so many artists, you know, like get comfortable with the voice that they blend with, you know. And it's so beautiful listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran. That was very sweet. And can I also request you to have your AirPods on, because I think you're also breaking a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's not just me, because I could feel that she was breaking a bit, but I was not sure if it was just me feeling it.
No. She was breaking. Yeah. But I think now it's gonna be good.
Awesome. So Nitya, one last thing, I just wanted to quickly also ask you about your live experiences, because I know how much of a dynamite you are on stage. Of course, we've had that opportunity to, of course, for you and Shankar Raja, that's a different thing. But even you and I, we've also had our private performances, like, where I could totally see you become one with the audience. So tell us about that. What does live performance mean to you? Like, what really goes on when you get on that stage?
That's a totally different nashe. I get into a different world when I'm on stage. Sometimes I really, when I look at my performances on stage after the show, because I always take some time to watch my performances after my shows to see where I can improve myself, what can be done better for the next time. Right from my costume to my singing to song selection to how I handle the audience, everything is. This is an art that I think, I have practiced so much. Being on stage is a blessing. It's a different feel that I get butterflies every time. The moment, like before I get on stage, I have that fire where people shout, Nitya, get on stage, and getting on stage and performing for them. I think it's the fire that the audience gives me. I don't know. When the audience are kind of low, I kind of tend to go a little low on my performance. But high, I think I just into 10x. I just something happens to me, and sometimes I look at my performance and I think, is that me? It's like so possessed. I'm so possessed on stage. I don't know. I get so possessed on stage. I think I want to be the queen of the stage. I want to be the queen of whatever I'm doing. So nobody can take that space out of me. No, they can't take it from me. That's kind of the relationship that I have with stage. So it's all. Every stage is a unique experience. Every stage is different. Magic. It's magic. Live performance is just. I think it's my breath.
Yeah. And I must say, because I'm also somebody who's had the opportunity to work so closely with you. I must say I've been super duper impressed with the amount of effort that you put into every little detail, you know, and the kind of follow-up that you do, be it with regard to your time or anything that you do, you give it 200 percentage, and it's amazing to see, especially it's an amazing quality that somebody as young as you could have. I'm super excited to see what all you do with it. Because it's super exciting, because the kind of energy, the kind of drive that you have in creating this kind of just not just creating the content, but making sure that you're with it at every stage and to see it happen. So I've also noticed that the audience choice mashups, like they are like a huge thing, they love, and I've also personally been a huge admirer of especially because mashups are not easy, because it's literally like a garland. You're creating a garland out of like super duper hits, right? And they really need to come together. So how do you work on these mashups? Like, what's your secret?
It's not a secret. To be very honest, when I started with my first mashup that has actually almost crossed 115 million views on YouTube, I think that's the big successful video on my YouTube channel, my YouTube journey. And I have to really take the moment to thank my team, Joan Trooper, Bharat Vikram, Subhash, who have closely worked with me in creating this project. And this was especially done during the COVID time.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we didn't get the opportunity to go to a studio, record. So, I mean, I was like, during that time, I really wanted to do something to keep audience active, to give them some kind of mental peace, through my music. So that's how I just, put up a post on Instagram asking them, what do you want me to sing next, and if there's any song that you like me to sing, I would definitely sing. So all different languages started coming. I was like, how am I going to deal all of this? So what language do I pick? Do I pick Tamil, or do I pick Kannada, do I pick Malayalam, or do I pick Punjabi or Marathi? What do I do? How will I handle this? So that was a whole brainstorming session that went before I created the stuff, and I really thought, every language has to be respected. Everybody who has actually asked me for the song, like, really want me to do that language. So somehow I should, try and do something with these. So I sat down. I still have those diaries, all of my work diaries there, and I like literally sat and wrote down what songs they have asked me, and like how many times. I used to put a bar next to every song, how many times they've asked, so that I can count towards the end and then choose the song. And that's how I think I came up with the entire first mashup. It was 10 different languages, and like people ask me all the famous hits of that time period. So everything together was actually a huge task for us to, bring them together, because they have to sound like one song, not like
exactly.
And it shouldn't sound boring, like, just one beat and like 20 songs. I didn't want it to sound like that. I wanted every song to sound like the original, but still have a unique touch of my voice and my style into it, and also has the element of a mashup coming into it. So we segregated into a 4/4 pattern, a 3/4 pattern, and all different. I think we did the Hollywood and Italian part of it towards the end.
Right.
So that's how we created the entire. I think big kudos to Joan Rupert, who was
I must. Yes, a big shout out to him. I also love the production of these tracks, because that's also a big thing, to really bring them together, even as a producer.
You wouldn't believe if I say it was all recorded just on my iPhone. It was just recorded on my phone, because we couldn't go to the studio during the COVID time.
COVID times, right.
Every song, every layer, like every harmony layer, I had to put in a separate. I had to stack them like that, and send it to him through email, and he kind of put them every. He did a fabulous job.
Fantastic job. Yes.
yeah, just bringing the essence of the whole mashup. I think the sound.
How did you how did you go through your process of collaboration, like especially at a time like that?
Well, it was difficult, and but I don't know. I think I've always had the fire to do something, keep going on something that I should never. I'm this person who cannot even wait a little, even little time. I can't even sit to watch a movie that's actually wrong. Nobody should take this week. I mean, I've done a lot of mistakes, so I'm really, really working on correcting them now. Now I, consciously take breaks to, watch a movie or something. I back then didn't do that. I was always like, I need to keep going. What new can I do? How can I keep the fire going on? Like always into something. So I think during the COVID time, I was able to explore a lot of my other aspects of performing. Like I improved a lot of styling. I had the chance of collaborating with different people, and thanks to all of them who worked with me through my YouTube journey. Whoever has collaborated with me through my entire journey, it's been almost 1.5 years. But since last 1 year, I've actually taken a small break from YouTube to come back with something nicer. And I wanted to be ready with something good before I come back. So I just thought I would take a breather. But then it was very difficult for me to collaborate. But then I'm thankful to those who were all my friends, my family, of course, for being there, through the entire journey of, literally, one friend of mine would go and pick the costume and come, and the other one will be delivering something from here. One will go to pick the accessory, and
How sweet.
it was crazy. It was crazy. I think, but for them, I think I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done. How fun.
I also feel like, I mean, if I can take the liberty to say this to you, I don't think you should be so hard on yourself. If you weren't the way you are, I don't think you could be where you are. So I think everything that you have done has contributed to getting you where you are today. It's always a good time to chill, but some of us need that in our lives. In fact, as in from this conversation, I feel like Ranjit is one end of the spectrum and you seem like you're another end of the spectrum. Everybody needs to meet midway a little bit. He's so chill. He's so like relaxed.
I told him I really want to learn that from him. I can't. I really can't still.
But
People
that's not a
don't.
bad thing. That's just how you are. That's just how he is. And he's also like so experienced. When we have a lot of very experienced artists on the live, they've already found their space. They've gone through that entire process, and finally the chill comes. I don't think everyone is chill all the time. I think it's part of the process. What, Ranjit, teacher, tell us?
I always, I'm like I said, I'm a huge fan of Nitya's. I don't know, whenever she talks about things like, I want to do things differently. I mean, that's something that we always constantly like we evolve. But I've always been a huge admirer of the fact, like I already told you, it's not easy to have uh, such an important quality as focus, you know, completely staying focused, completely staying committed. Those are like very, very rare and unique qualities that you already possess. Now, anything you do beyond this, it's definitely going to be a hit. Like everybody already, there's so many people who have joined this live and so many people who are trying to tell you how much they love you. I mean, there's only love from this point on, and I can't honestly wait to see you come out with so many of your beautiful uh, content, like, because you put so much of thought, you put so much of passion into it, and it's such a delight to see it all flower. So yeah, I don't even know what Nitya is talking about when she says that she's taking a break.
No, actually, I'm not like a
Just have,
just like a breather because I
yeah,
want to come up with
correct,
more creative. I just felt like
correct.
because we're talking about the burnout part of it,
It's
I've been
important.
that I've always been on the
Yeah,
edge to things, always focused and committed and like there was no time for me to actually even think about anything else. Like, I
Yes, that's important.
missed out on the factor of self-care, which
Mm,
I'm realizing
mm,
in the recent
that's good.
time.
That's
Really, that's
awesome.
a lesson that I've learned, and I really want to give it to people who are actually watching this. Please, if you're passionate, be passionate, but then take some time for yourself also. You don't
Exactly.
want to put that later. I feel somewhere I'm regretting that, missing my childhood because I've been on television and media from when I was, 5, 6 years old. So it's been 20 years of being in this industry already. So it actually takes a.
Mm. Oh, yes.
And equally, I am a fan of you. I'm really learning how to be this calm head, but still, being the boss you are. That's really I need to learn from you, and I'm learning. I think conversations that we have had really has enlightened me, and I really think I can implement. I really feel I have the potential to implement them. Yeah.
Honestly, Nitya, I think every conversation that we have, it has been an opportunity for me also to understand so much, you know, and just share whatever I could. And it's been so much fun because I've learned so much from you, from the little things that you say. There's so much that I'm like, wow, this is so much to learn, because your young energy, it's so good to see young, bubbling energy, and it's such an inspiration.
Big words.
So,
Big words. Don't really know if I deserve it, but
no,
coming
no,
from you,
totally, totally.
to
You deserve much more, and all of that is coming your way. Okay, and like I already told you, I'm super excited to see all the up upcoming ventures that we're going to see. So I'm super glued. I'm every time you send a broadcast, I love immediately I go and check it out just to see, okay, what exciting is Nitya up to. So it's amazing. So, and I really want to thank you for being here today with us and taking so much of your time.
no, I really love
Before
studying my life journey and my story. You actually put me through my past days. Like I was just reminiscing all of those memories. So thank you so much for having me here and talk about something that I think two things that really where I where else or with any. But I think I said it with the particular and you guys. So
Oh,
I
yes.
really am happy about it. Really.
Thank you so much. Before you go, Vasigra has been coming up again and again. Can we take one song request,
But
please?
I think we have to definitely respect them for they have taken the time to also be with
Oh,
us
yes. Oh, yes.
conversation. Thank you guys and cheers, Vajra. I just thought I'd
Woo!
be like, if we had
Thank
to.
you so much, Nitya. It was such a pleasure listening to you. Thank you for sharing your energy with us today and
Thank
doubling the
you.
joy.
I think I can continue to spread this joy like always. I really wish that's something that I always make sure people around me should always be happy, always smile.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, Nitya. So may you be filled with so much of happiness that you always ooze of it, so that people around you can also enjoy it.
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Super. Thank you.
Lovely talking with you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you,
Likewise, Nitya.
Nitya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you all for joining us. Thank you once again.
Yes,
And
thank you, everybody.
I really wish the Pallikudams all the success it deserves, and for the Patakars and all the new ventures that you are taking up, Anna. You are an inspiration. We have, literally lived our life listening to your songs, and I think you continue to do that forever.
Thank
And
you.
you spread this joy that you're spreading, and I would love to do a couple of lines. I think we will do a duet. Let's just do some
Sure.
of your songs, any one of your songs before we begin. Just
டோல் டோல் தான் அடிக்கிறான், இரு தோளும் தோளும் தான் உரசுறான், மேலும் கீழுமா இழுக்கிறான், முப்பாலும் கலந்து என்ன கலக்குறான்.
துளி மாறி வைத்துதாராடிடவே காற்று, மான் புலியை வைத்துதாராடுவதும் காற்று, முன்னும் பெண்ணும் தான் முழுமையான சொர்க்க நரகத்தின் கலவையா, பெண் இடையும் இறைவனும் ஒன்றுதான், பெண் இருந்து தெரிவதே இல்லை.
ஆயிலா ஆயிலா அடி ஆரிய மாலா, அந்த விழிகள் என்ன கூறிய வேளா, ஓயிலா ஓயிலா நீ சிலமிஷ தேளா, சிரிக்கி சிரிப்பு என்ன மந்திர கோலா 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 கோலா.
Guys, thank you. Thank you very much.
We lived our early lives listening to your songs. It's just an integral part of all of us. The moment we started Dole Dole, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting all these memories during those times when I used to listen to the song and perform it on stage. Some of the songs are mind blowing, and I really, really, you deserve to be, like more better. I mean, like you're already great, but I only wish you to be played
Thank
better.
you, Nitya.
You
Super sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. So before we leave, just an announcement. This Nitya, you can move on if you like. We just want to share a couple of announcements before we go on the page. But you're welcome to stay. Yeah. Okay, all right. So guys, the next batch of para class starts on the 9th of July. It is being taught by Ranjit himself. And if you have any questions, you can ask us, and Ranjit is here to respond to them. Just 1 minute. We have a few questions. Ranjit, there's one question on what is going to be explored in Pata class. Is it a classical music course? Can you just cover a few lines on it, please?
Yes. So it's going to have the fundamentals of classical Carnatic music, but of course it's free of all genres, because the fundamentals in any genre, and Nitya I'm sure will also testify this, is pretty much the same. The foundational concepts are pretty much the same. What happens on top is what really matters. So the foundation is definitely from classical Carnatic music.
So Pata class, like he said, is course, and you can apply it to any style of songs, from light music to classical to Western. We've had people experiment on K-pop, carol singing, and whatnot. So it's a 2-month workshop, and if you'd like to join us, we've extended the registration date. We've moved it from the 2nd of July to now the 9th of July, and come and learn from the man himself, the ultimate performer and collaborator who we heard today. Thank you very much. And we will see all of you in another live very soon. Thank you for joining us, Ranjit.
Thank you once again, Nitya. Super sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.